Thanks, babe. All right. As I told you, I'm a nerd, and I like to read a lot. Again, this is my information. If you need me, take a picture of that. So, I am currently reading this book. Start with why. You go to a lot of seminars, you watch a lot of videos, they're going to tell you that when you get into real estate, you got to start with why. You got to have a really strong why. Yes?
Can you go back to this slide?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think I can. Yep. There you go. They're going to tell you that you have to have a strong why. You have to have a reason why you're going to go through this. Real estate is not easy. I don't know who told you it was going to be easy, but it's not easy. It's risky, but so is Taco Bell. So you've got to be prepared to get out there and do some work. Okay? Everything we do is risky, so is real estate. So, you ready? Is that good? Okay. So, this book is really start with your why. You have to know why you want to push through the hard days. You have to know why you're doing the hard work. You have to know why it's okay that this seller cussed you out on the phone and you have to make more calls because the next one could be a yes. Okay? Start with your why. Pretty important. I don't think it's the most important thing like everybody else seems to think it's the most important thing. Okay? I think you need to start with who. Because, yeah, it's important to know why you're doing this, but we all kind of know it's to make money, right? It's to leave a legacy, right? It's to get out of your job. It's to retire. It's to, I mean, we all have the same answer, right? One of those, a variation of those. Okay, great. So let's move past that. Let's start with who. And when we're talking about marketing, who are we talking to? Because Jason and I argued about this going to Georgia a couple weeks ago. I think if you have the right message, but you give it to the wrong person, it won't connect and equal a sale. Does that make sense?
Just FYI, the person that says you were arguing loss to the other person, it was a fruitful conversation.
I get a little defensive a little fast sometimes. Okay, so we need to say the right thing to the right person to get them to sign our contract, right? So if you said, I buy houses, I buy houses, I buy houses, I buy houses, who are you talking to? Sellers? Motivated sellers? All right, cool. How do they know you are talking to them? They don't. You could have been talking to anybody. You didn't say what kind of house, you didn't say where, you didn't say how much, you didn't say how quick you could close. You didn't really say much because it was a bandit sign and you didn't have a lot of room to say much, right? So, we are talking to sellers, but we need to be specific about which sellers we're talking to. What makes somebody a motivated seller? They got a problem. What's their main problem?
Divorce, death, whatever.
They need money, divorce, death. Very good. Anything else?
Tired landlord.
Tired landlord. All of these people are great motivated sellers. Okay? So what is something besides I buy houses that we could say to these people that really spoke to them so that they feel special? Everybody like to feel special? You like to feel like you're important? Everybody's kind of selfish. It's okay. I know this. We like to be special. We like somebody to pay attention to us. So if your marketing just says I buy houses, well, I don't know. They may not like mine. It may be too far gone. All right? But if we said something to that person that said, I buy houses that look like nobody's lived in them in 100 years. Well, now, if their house looks like that, they're not afraid to tell me, hey, I got a house just like that. All right? I'm a safe place that they can come now. If you say, I buy houses with blue roofs, well, then anybody that had a hail damage roof and just bought another place and left would say, hey, I got a place like that. You want mine? All right? Because we've spoken directly to them and directly to their problem. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so let's dig into this. I mentioned Facebook. I'm super mouthy on Facebook. It's no secret. I've been for years, even when I was trucking, before I was into real estate. So, the best part about social selling is it's free. You like free?
Yes.
Everybody likes free.
People tell me that, you know, they don't have the money to get started investing. Okay, fine, you don't have $100,000 in the bank. Gotcha. Then they tell me they don't have money for y'all letters. Okay, fine, you don't have $1,000 for the list, the letters, the stamps, the envelopes, the time, the return address. It's like, all right, fine, you got it. But we all have free 99, right? And you got some sort of social media. If you don't have any sort of social media in this room, I would be shocked. I wouldn't totally doubt it, but I would be shocked, okay? And this is free for now. Imagine 50 years from now, 60 years from now, and you're talking to your grandkids, and they say, man, it's so tough to get started in real estate now. I wish XYZ, social media, whatever, was still free. It must have been so great in 2022 when you could post whatever you wanted and talk to as many people as you could all day long. There are no limits to what you can post. Are there? Just character limits, right? It's a great place to find people because we're all there. We're all there. And we spend tons of time there every day, right? And more and more and more. And our whole life revolves around that phone and different social media platforms. So when we talk about marketing and we talk about talking to motivated sellers, this is free. Everybody can do this. But you don't want to make a fool out of yourself, right? That would be embarrassing. I have a plan. I have a 7-day lead challenge, which is going to help you kind of get into talking to your people and letting them know that you want to be a real estate investor. And this is tough for a lot of people because you don't want your boss to know that you are out as soon as possible, all right? Or you don't want your ex-husband's family to know that you have money now. All right, you're a teacher, you don't want your students to know that you have a side hustle. People have all sorts of reasons why they don't want to do this. I'm telling you, it works. Okay? It works. So the first thing I want you to do on the first day, anybody have a selfie of them in front of a house? Anybody have any empty houses in their neighborhood? So you could drive by, not on the way home tonight, but tomorrow, drive by, get out of the car, and take a selfie in front of an empty house. That's all you have to do. You have a phone, it has a camera, you have social media. You've got to take a selfie and then post it. It's scary. Some of y'all haven't put any pictures up in years. I get it. But if you tell people why you're posting it, you'll get the gossip mill going. All right? People are going to talk about you. You can't do anything about it. They're going to talk about you. What you can do is teach them what to say about you when you come up in conversation. I'm sure when my high school friends bring up my name, they say, yeah, she's doing real estate, something about houses. I don't really know what. Okay, fine. But they're not talking about anything else or making stuff up, right? Because every single day I put something about real estate up. I just bombard everybody with it. You don't have to be as crazy as I am. But if you do want to get some word of mouth, you do want to get the ball rolling, you do want to have some free advertising, you got to tell them what you're doing and why you're doing it. You also have to tell them who you're talking to. So in your message, I want you to say something along the lines of, hey, you've always known me as a trucker, or hey, you know that I just graduated college, or hey, you know that I've had a job as an engineer for the last 30 years, and now I want you to know that I have a dream to become a real estate investor. I want to supplement my income. I want to buy a beach house. I want to do whatever. But you have to let them know that you need their help. This is where the who part comes in. You need them to help you because you drive the same way to work and back every day. But everybody else is passing a different 5 or 7 empty houses every day. So they can start sending you, hey, this house is empty. Hey, this address is empty. Hey, my friend at work has a sister with an empty house. Here's her phone number, call it. If you will put this out there, people will remember it. If you just say, I buy houses, I buy houses, I buy houses, you're the same as everybody else. And it's not going to help. Everybody get a picture of this? So does this make sense? Does this make sense?
Yep.
Just a selfie. And just put this up. You can change it to fit you and whatever you want to put in there, but this needs to be the general gist of it. Cool? All right, on the second day, I want you to find a FSBO, for sale by owner. These red and white signs, they look like targets. Jason and I passed one in Sevierville, of all places, Saturday, and I thought I was gonna jump out of the car to stop. I need a picture of that. Why is there a FSBO in Sevierville? Like, who is not covering Sevierville? Y'all gotta hop on these because these guys are golden gooses, okay? And it could be a wholesaler already has it, but it could be that they're fishing for an agent to list it. But y'all gotta jump on these FSBOs before they go to the MLS. This is your moment to shine when there's still a red and white sign in the yard. So what I want you to do is find one of these signs and take a picture of it. And Google drives around and takes pictures of everything, so don't y'all tell me this is an invasion of privacy. We're all on the internet, okay? Take a picture, and then we're gonna build your team. So the post for that day, you're gonna say, hey, I saw this sign, and I was wondering if you see any of these signs in your neighborhood. Would you please take a picture of it and send it to me? But I gotta be able to read the phone number, because I'll come back. Can y'all read the phone number on that one?
No.
It's so annoying when they send you these pictures. My mom takes a picture from like, 7 houses away.
Well, it's annoying when they just use like a ballpoint pen instead of a.
Yeah, but these are mom and pop sellers. These are golden gooses. Like, even if you just get the address of where this thing is, that's fine. But ask your people to try to get the phone number. If it does look like this, then ask them to get the address. Because you can track them down if you have the address. Okay, but this is going to be your post. That top house, they did write their phone number big enough. But if you weren't standing in front of it, you couldn't read it. I need you to zoom in on that so I can read it, okay? The bottom one also. So these are 3 different versions of a FSBO sign. If you just give people one version, that's all they're gonna look for. But if you can find 3 FSBO signs, and you can put this post up 3 different times, then you'll broaden your search. Does that make sense? The tricky thing about having other people send you leads, especially for free, because your grandma wants to help you. Your 3rd grade teacher wants to help you. Your people in the Sunday school class, they want to help you, all right? Everybody wants to help. And real estate's on TV, so everybody wants to be a TV star. And if you have the guts to actually go after it, people want to help you, okay? Just out of good nature, they want to help you. You have to be super specific about what you're looking for and how to give you this information. I don't offer money. A lot of people are going to say, if you send me a lead and I close on it, I'll give you $500. Well, what are you going to do if 3 people send you that lead? What if it's a lead that you already had? What if, there's lots of ways that this could go squirrely. And why? When people just want to help. Some people are never going to come to a Knox REIA meeting because they're just too intimidated to walk through the door. We're nice people, okay? We're way nicer than a bunch of sellers are going to be. So these people are going to want to play and watch you go through the hoops and the loops and stuff. So they will help you if you tell them what you're looking for and how to send you the information. Then you have to do something with it. I've said it before tonight, it's work. People send you these leads, they are sending you their love and their hope for you. You have to call these people. You have to set up an appointment. You have to go look at the house. You have to make some offers. And some of these, you're going to have to write a contract and sign your name at the end. All right? And then, you know what you do? You let your people know, hey, I went to that house, I talked to that seller, thank you so much, I have it under contract now. And they feel like, woohoo, we won. They're on your team. And a lot of times that's all they really want. That's all they really need, is to feel like they're part of something. They're part of your glow up. They're part of you getting out there and doing things and living your dreams because they don't have the guts to make it happen themselves. Okay? They will help you. You just have to tell them, please and thank you. Okay? Oh, okay, so FSBOs are people that are basically begging you to come by and start making some offers. This market is weird, but some people don't want to deal with agents. They don't want to pay that commission. They don't want to deal with a bunch of people coming through their house. So they still want an investor to just come in and give them a price so they can go fast. When I talked about the seller problems, money came up. The first house that I wholesaled, I had a lease option on it, it was a weird thing. They didn't have any money problems. Their daughter had come home pregnant. They had a time problem, all right? They had a ticking time clock, and they needed to be out in another house that was set up for a growing family. It wasn't a money problem at all. So everybody doesn't have money problems. And if you go in ready to solve all the money problems, sometimes you're going to miss the mark just because you didn't know who you were talking to. You didn't listen to what their actual problem was. You just assumed it was money because we are all money hungry, greedy people. No. Okay. So there's lots of reasons why they're going to put FSBO signs in the yard. Not a lot of expired listings these days. I wouldn't pull that list either. But they have different reasons why they don't want it on the MLS. Maybe they're in Sunday school class with 3 different agents. They don't want to choose. All right? Maybe they have 3 sister-in-laws. They all have a license. They don't want to choose. So they're just going to sell themselves. Great. Maybe they're DIYers and they think they can save themselves the commission. Great. Maybe it needs work and they're embarrassed for a bunch of people to come through and see it. People have pride in their houses and they know when it needs some landscaping. They know when they're a little cluttered. They know when it's growing mold in the bathroom. And they have pride associated with that. So if you will let them know, you've seen it, it's cool, no big deal, I'll deal with it, then they're more willing to let you know, okay, well come on in, but this room's ugly. Okay? Sometimes they don't really want to sell it. Anybody talk to a seller and they did not want to sell it, they just had a sign out just to see, they're just fishing to see what they could get? Okay, fine. But if they don't have a problem, I can't solve it. Right? Moving on. They don't know where to start. Maybe they just had their job to get transferred and they don't have time to get anybody over there. They think they need to have it surveyed. They think they need to have the inspection. They don't know where to start to get the ball rolling. So they just went to the Home Depot and put a sign in the yard. And we'll see what happens. Okay? Those people are out there too. It doesn't matter to me why, as long as there's somebody that wants to get rid of it, they have a problem, and they'll talk to me about it. The more and more you post on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat or maybe Tinder, I guess, I don't know, I haven't been on it. What's the other T1, Tweeter? The more you post on those things and talk about real estate, the more people are going to associate you with real estate. But be very careful here and make sure you're giving the same message, okay? If one week you buy ugly houses and the next week you buy mom's house, people may not want to think that mom's house is ugly because that's where they grew up, okay? So if you're going to have a message and keep it going one way for a while. If it doesn't work, take a new message and have it go for a while, all right? You'll start to be able to try some things out to see what hooks, what gets people's attention, what makes them call you, what makes them send you leads, and then you just go further and further down that path, all right? There's stop signs, there's yield signs, and there's green lights. All right, we're looking for the green light path, but we got to try some other ways to find that. Does that make sense? Okay. We have to train them or we'll get properties on the MLS. I'm not dealing with any agents. I have 3 rules when I buy houses and I post it all the time so that people know, don't send me MLS properties. I have the internet. I need a FSBO in the yard of your neighborhood that I'm never driving to. Okay? Post your picture and then ask for leads. Okay, so I gave you 2 examples of what to say on day 1 and day 2, right? Here's 3 more examples of what you can say. I cannot make it any easier. I've literally written the post for you. I cannot make this easier. I can't do this for you. I told you in the beginning, I wasn't representing you. You have to do your own deals. It is a 4-letter word. You have to work it. But here it is. All right? Typey type. Post it. Get your own picture. Post it. Again, I have all 7 days laid out in First Little and Fast, and one of the coolest things about First Little and Fast is, like this, 3 different options. In First Little and Fast, I give you 3 different options for all 7 days, which is 21 days of content. How long does it take to establish a new habit?
21 days.
I'm a genius. All right, y'all go through this 3 times. Just all the way through 3 times, and by the end of 21 days, you should have a habit established of posting, of talking about real estate, of telling people what you do, how you do it, who you're helping, where you're looking, and it should start to roll. And it won't be as embarrassing on day 21, as it was on day 1. All right, I get it. Day 1, it's weird, and then people start actually talking to you about it, and you're like, oh, this works. It's free. Go for it. Okay. Jason said there are deals out there right now. Tom was here last month, Tom's Eve, and he said that, there's a rule, there's a calculation, there's a formula that you got to go by. If you're going to get a house under contract, it has to meet all these parameters. I'm going to say, if you can get some people send you some leads and you can get a seller to sign that contract, do something with it. Okay? Steve Cook and I talked a couple weeks ago, and he said, if you can get a house in Farragut under contract, put it under contract. Forget the 70%, forget the 90%, just put it under contract and put it up on the market, put it up online and see what can happen. You can probably make 20 grand just for getting it under contract. Because people, like Kendra said, are so hungry for houses. The more contracts you can put out there, the more money you can make. All right? Don't be so stuck on analysis paralysis right now. This is not the time for that. All right? There'll be another market where I say, don't you dare pay anything over 50% minus repairs. If you pay $5, it was too much. That's not this market. Okay? Get out there, talk to sellers, make offers, and sign contracts. That's what I help people do in First Little and Fast. And I've got First Little and Fast. Did we bring any boxes? I don't remember. But First Little and Fast covers wholesaling, lease options, and owner financing. It's 142 videos of me talking you through every little detail of the deal. It's a ton of stuff. And we got a Facebook group. If you want to, I'm not going to go all into it. FTDFES.com, there's a whole hour-long webinar where I give you all the secrets and do all the things and do all the dances. You can check it out later. Cool? But I'll teach you how to do all that. It is my own little program that I teach. And we have 4 in here tonight that are in First Little and Fast, if you want to talk to somebody about it. Y'all need a break? Or you want to keep going? Break? Okay.
I like the timer.
I'm starting to talk again when it hits 0.